What's up, my beautiful Bill family? Welcome to another episode of BeawCast. All right, if you're returning from last week's episode, I'm super excited for you because you already know what I'm about to talk about, and that's that I took a scoop of our Barbell Brigade pre-workout,
the full scoop
in a sour gummy flavor. For those of you that don't know, I used to be a powerlifter. I've competed in a few powerlifting meets, and even when I was competing, the only time I would take a full scoop, because I never take pre-workout, but only in competition right before my deadlift, I would take a full scoop of pre-workout. And there was so much adrenaline, I don't even know if it worked. Okay, so this is the first time ever in my fucking fitness career, if you want to call it a career, that I've taken, thank you, that I've taken pre-workout, and I took it about 10 minutes ago. Right now, my palms are sweaty.
Arm spaghetti.
It's really fucking hot, but it's wintertime, as my people in California know, or wait, all over not all over the world, but yes, it's wintertime, and I'm hot right now. Like before we started filming, like in the morning, I was cold. Remember, I was like, right now I'm sweaty, and I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of scared.
You don't feel it kick in yet?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the adrenaline now, trying to like prepare myself for like a type of feeling, or what's about to happen.
Well, I mean, this thing, it took us a whole year to formulate. So there's all types of really good stuff in here. There's an energy blend. So there's caffeine, and there's more caffeine in here than you probably ever had before.
Fuck my life.
But we do have like a CNS support blend, so that'll help you recover
What's CNS,
from
for those that
central
don't know?
nervous system.
Yep.
So it helps keep you sharp. There's an endurance blend. There's like 3 different species of mushrooms in here. There's beta alanine. There's tyrosine. There's just things theanine. There's things to help you stay focused. So all that. So this might be the most focused podcast you ever do.
And probably the one that I'm going to talk like the fastest. So please, everyone, keep along. Just follow along because I just don't know what's
You already are talking really fast? I don't know if it kicked in yet or not.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm talking really fast. Maybe it did kick in. I don't know. I'm always those really skeptical people.
Yeah.
If they say something's going to work,
I'm not high.
I'm like, nah. No, I want to feel it. So I'm like,
okay.
Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? And then I'm like, I don't feel it.
Do you feel any tingling in your face?
No, I've never felt tingling in my hands.
Oh, that
But
might
it could be because the only time I've taken pre-workout was in competition when I'm already like super adrenaline and like in like kill it mode.
Yeah. I mean, it might hit you a little bit later because we also had lunch. So you're taking it on a full stomach.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But today's topic is parenthood. Ooh. And shout outs once again to those of you guys who have submitted to the story that I put up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shout outs to all those parents out there.
Shout outs to them too, all you tired mofos. But this one is for all the people that submitted to the story. And it's one of the things that they want us to talk about.
Yeah, because Bart posted a story on his Instagram where he wanted for you guys to submit your questions so that we can be tailoring the content to what it is that you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah. So I guess, but they didn't ask a question. It was just parenthood, and I'm like, we could talk about being parenthood. Yeah, so let's talk about it.
So
I guess maybe one of the biggest questions would be
Jesus Christ, I was just talking, homie. Go ahead. He's always interrupting me. It's like I thought I was on the pre-workout. Anyway, what were we gonna say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Go, you little squirrel.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. Just go. I picture you as a squirrel because I know you have ADHD.
Yeah.
So then when squirrels run away, they like circle up a tree and they're like.
I'm more like a squirrel with 2 heads, and each arm is choking the other head. Pay attention. Because there's 2 heads but 1 body.
You're Chip and Dale.
And 1 squirrel. I'm a Siamese squirrel or whatever.
Okay, what were we gonna say?
So what are some like the biggest before and afters of like maybe what you thought being a parent would be, and then what it actually is?
That's a good question. Because I tried. God, I sound so fucking annoying.
Or is there or maybe another one could be what's one of the most difficult things you had to deal with about being a parent so far?
So far, my patience.
Your patience. Yeah.
So I thought my patience. So I already have issues with my patience. I have no patience or very little patience.
Right.
So when Tyka first was when he was a newborn, he would cry a lot, or just like an average newborn, he would cry, and I would get frustrated because I'm like, what do you want? Like, I mean, I'm not talking to him like that, but internally I'm like, what does he want? Is he hungry? Does he have a wet diaper? Is he sleepy? Is he in pain? Like, you're just, because they can't communicate what's going on with them. So, damn, this thing's really kicking in because I'm like breathing heavy.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. It works, guys.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I thought that my patience was going to be an issue, but then like it wasn't bad, and I would look to you, and you were like my pillar of stability.
Yeah.
And I see how you wouldn't get frustrated, so I would try to model after you. And I really thought my patience was being tested at that time. And I never yelled at him. I was never fed up. I never snapped. I never did any of that stuff up until fucking today or yesterday. Like, when
What'd you do yesterday?
Well, not specifically yesterday, but just like recently.
Oh, I see.
So he's 2 years now. He's September, October, November, December. He's 2 years, 3 months. And it's important to include the months because month to month, your kid develops significantly.
Yeah.
I don't know when that stops, maybe at 5, when like their brain develops like rapidly, or like as exponentially as it is now. But every single month he changes drastically.
Yeah.
So I want to say from this month to last month, he's just become this fucking intense energy. So he can formulate sentences now.
Yeah, which is so cute.
Which is super cute. But now everything that he had in his mind that he would like stare off into it and just kind of get lost, and he's like in la la land thinking about or staring at, now he's voicing what he's looking at. So now he's like, mama, mommy, 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 mommy. And I'm probably in the middle of a phone call or trying to do just regular adult real life shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, mommy, 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 mommy. And it gets intense and it's so important.
It's like the Family
and he's
Guy
yelling.
episode.
Exactly. And then I turn around and I'm just like, what, Taika? What do you want? And he goes, bird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
But then when he says that, it's so cute though.
After the fact, but if I'm trying to like get something done, it's like I have no patience, and it wears me out. I think so. He goes to bed around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Now it's 7:30, and I'm like, let's give him a bath. Let's give him his last bottle for the day. Maybe we should put him in bed at 8 o'clock.
I think that's pretty normal. Like our neighbor or 2 doctors, they put their kid to bed at 7, just so they can have a little bit more free time, I think.
So it's rough in these streets. I thought like every phase of the child development, I only know up to age 2 as of now. I didn't grow up with very many kids. I didn't have to raise my little sister because I was 6. So I was also a baby. But every phase gets easy and hard.
For me, I think it's been getting easier.
I mean, how much time do you spend with Taika a day?
Even in the same amount of time, I think it's been getting easier.
I don't know.
And I think because in the beginning when he would cry, I'm like you too, where I'm like, what is it? Like, what can I do to help you? And he just seems like he's voicing all these issues and problems, but I don't know what they really are. And I think unlike you, where maybe because you're not a robot, where you hear him and he's like, is he hungry? Is he tired? Is he cold? Is he whatever? For me, I also have, he's crying just for the sake of crying. So I'm like, oh, he's just crying. That's cool. He just wants to cry right now. And so there's that option.
Newborns don't usually cry for the sake of crying.
Maybe that's why there's moms around. Because for me, I'll go through the list, and if I check,
I like how you think they're so calculated.
No. If I check all the list, I'm like, oh, he just wants to cry. Then I'm like, cool. Now I can just shut off the crying, and I can go back to whatever I'm doing, even though he's just crying.
That's probably why there's women around. My face is itchy.
Awesome, hell yeah. And then so yeah, but I think like what makes it easier for me, at least as a dad, because I didn't have him in my body for 9 months. I don't think I know him as much as you do. So as he's been able to get older and communicate more, I'm finally starting to learn him. So now, even though he has more antics and more things to be able to like complain or whatever about, I feel like I know him way more. So like actually, it's been easier for me. I like it.
Oh, Well, shit. We should switch. Okay, but I guess we'll start from the very, very beginning. Because there's a lot of people in our lives right now that they just got pregnant or they just had a kid. And they turn to us like, what about this? What about this? What about this? What should I do? So I guess we can talk about like when we first brought him home.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was really cool, and I don't know if this is standard for all hospitals.
Like you're talking about day one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is for all hospitals, and I don't know if this is for all hospitals out of state. We're in California, specifically Los Angeles. So when I was pregnant, we looked up different hospitals to see what was in our, like within our vicinity, and then seeing what was going to be the best for us, and of course stuff that we could afford. So then we looked at Huntington, I was going to say Beach.
Huntington Memorial.
Yes, Huntington Memorial Hospital in Pasadena. It was super high rated. So, and I'm so glad that I went with them because they took care of everything. They made me feel comfortable. Like it was a clean facility. It felt like you said there was a Starbucks in there.
There's a Starbucks in there, and I'll get to that later, why that's important.
Yeah, and it was really cool because when I was pregnant, I didn't take any of that Lamaze class. I don't even know if they, or that breathing class. I didn't take any like parenting classes or anything because I don't know. I just figured like, I'll wing it. Like I didn't feel like it
was lacking information or whatever.
Yeah, like I was doing a lot of research online. I had what's the app I would use?
Well, that app was helpful. She had this app where every week it would tell you the development of the baby and whether it was like a grape size or a cantaloupe size now. And you have all these things to look out for. And it even helped out as a husband to know, okay, cool, like this is how I can help cater to my wife.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so I'm not going to say that specific app, but there's just a bunch of parenting apps out there.
Yeah.
So I made sure to like every month read up on it and look up different articles. So I felt pretty well equipped. So then once it was time that I had my baby, he came out, he was perfect. They took care of him. I did not circumcise, and maybe we can make another video on that. But yeah, didn't do that. Now it's time for us to go to sleep. We stay in the hospital for about 2 days, but what was really dope is they have like a lactation specialist, and they ask you like, hey, do you want to speak with them? Like it's part of the whole service. And I'm like, hell yeah. So they teach you how to properly breastfeed. I didn't even know there was, like, I thought the kids latch on just to the nipple, like the not the areola, but the nipple part. I thought they just latch on to that and they suck on it. And it was kind of like intuitive that they just get it. But it's not that way. You're literally supposed to shove like your whole tit, not your whole tit, but like as much boob as possible so they can latch on a bigger piece of the boob.
Yeah.
So that they don't just latch on the nipple part. And it's so painful when they do that.
Oh, it's painful when they do just the nipple?
Just the nipple, because they're just... Now imagine me pinching your nipple and pulling that.
Oh.
Yes, it's very painful. He
doesn't have teeth though, right?
No, but he's pressing down on his gums. So it's literally a pinch.
Oh, yeah.
So if he has more of his mouth on the boob, then he's... And it works better because he's squeezing the boob, which is squeezing the milk out. For him, as he's sucking, there's more milk coming out.
Yeah.
So you learn about that.
When you're breastfeeding him, is it like one of the cuniest moments in your life?
Oh, it is I think that was my favorite. Like, I think that one of my favorite things about being a mom and being a woman.
Yeah, because you want to like nourish your child, right?
Yeah.
And then so like you want to nourish your child and you want the best for your child. And that's like the actual physical act of you doing that, and you're connected. Like you're not making them a bowl of cereal. Like it's literally the nourishment coming from you.
Why'd you ask me a question and then answer it yourself?
No, I'm just describing how I view it from the outside. Like
I know, but let me answer your question. I thought I was the one on pre-workout.
Fine, go ahead.
You're so excited.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the feeling, and I loved it so much because it was something that, I mean, I don't know what else to say. You literally said everything. But that's it. It's like the ultimate connection. You fucking dick. Right. Yeah, that's literally everything. I just felt like...
So you're pretty much telling me whatever I viewed from the outside is everything
literally
from the inside.
Because
I'm pretty good at viewing things.
You are really good at viewing things because it was like, I needed nothing else. I don't need like any tools. I don't need anything. Like my body is so amazing. Like the woman's body is so amazing that it's self-sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I created this life and now I'm feeding this life.
Yeah.
It's the fucking wildest thing ever. And then just like hit skin to skin feels really good. Like, what's the
golden hour?
What are you talking about?
No, because you know how they're like when the baby's born, within that first hour is the golden hour. You want to have skin to skin contact with the mom so that there's a bond.
Yeah.
So I thought you were talking about that.
No, fuck, I remember losing my train of thought. It's not golden hour, but just dopamine and like like all of that's released. So you're like in this, I don't know, it just feels like you just feel so much love and connection to this child. It was really beautiful and my most valued moments.
Is it our first sponsor already?
Yes.
Okay. Well, guess what, guys? Our first sponsor is brought to you by ButcherBox, which I freaking love because I don't even have time to go to the grocery store that much, and I love eating meat all the time. So what's dope about ButcherBox is that it's a subscription service, so they send you meat every single month. You keep it in the freezer, and I always have like 80 to 90% in the freezer and always some in the fridge because if I want to eat, then it's already right then and there. But you could choose all kinds of stuff from beef to pork to bacon to anything.
Fish.
To fish. Yeah. So every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high quality meat right to my house. And there's 9 to 11 pounds of meat, which is good for 24 individual meals. And
it doesn't matter if you're not home because they deliver it with ice and stuff. So if they leave it on your front porch or whatever, you don't have to go, oh no, I have to rush home because my meat's going to go bad.
I've been lazy and I left it in my living room for over 24 hours. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I went and I grabbed the meat and it's still rock hard.
Yep, still frozen.
So I mean, it's still frozen, still really good. And there's 100% grass-fed and finished beef. There's free-range organic chicken, heritage pork, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, sugar/nitrate-free bacon. There's all kinds of dope stuff. And right now you can get 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 packs of bacon absolutely free, plus $20 off your first box.
Wow.
Go to butcherbox.com/Bell. Use the promo code BEAW at checkout. That's butcherbox.com/Bell. BEAW, and get some protein in your life.
Hell yeah. Or if it's not for you, get it for someone that loves a lot of protein. If you have your type of bar in your life, hey, holiday season, let's do it.
I love protein.
Yeah, if you know you're going to have a lot of family over, right now is the time to get that subscription so that you can have it for Christmas dinner or New Year's dinner.
Yeah.
So they have a lactation specialist. They teach you about like feeding, what formula to give, how to give that, how to breastfeed, how to like what you're going to be feeling, like your boobs are going to be tender. And then how to like keep up your lactation or like your milk supply. They teach you that. They teach you how to properly swaddle. And swaddle is like, you know, when you see the babies and they look like little beans because they're like tightly wrapped. They teach you about that. I don't know. It was really cool because the hospital made it feel like as soon as we walked out of the hospital, we felt very well.
Like trained and prepared.
Yes. So then once we went home, it was so surreal coming home with like a kid and we were like, holy shit, we're now in charge.
Yeah. What's crazy is like when the baby comes out and you're just at home, you could just stare at him or her for hours.
Yeah.
You're just like, did we make this?
Yeah. And then we go, whose nose does he have? Yeah. Whose eyes? Oh yeah, that's your eyes. And then you're just staring at them forever. And you're taking a million pictures.
Yeah.
So the first night was...
Before we even get to the first night, for me, as I think one of the things that no one really tells you is how tired you're going to be the first couple of days. Because when you first... When you first...
I just kind of assumed that you'd be pretty tired. Well, at least I was going to be really tired because I just gave birth.
Yeah, but I was tired too. So I didn't know how tired I was going to be. And that's why I would say like Starbucks is freaking awesome. They came in clutch at this hospital because... while you're giving birth, dads have it just as hard too, trust me. And I'm there like watching labor. My eyes got so tired. I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm so tired. So good thing I was able to go to Starbucks and get myself a nice little frappuccino.
What the hell is this, a Starbucks ad?
No, I was able to get myself a little, like a little caramel macchiato. And then I was ready to rock and roll and watch more labor. And unfortunately, Marburg was going through labor, so she can't have any of my yummy caramel macchiato because she can't really have caffeine. But the part that's tiring is... So once you have labor, you guys
What do you mean once you have labor? How do you have labor?
Fine. Once you labor, then
once you're in labor?
Once you're in labor and the baby pops out, they put you into another room. And is that called like the maternity ward?
I don't know what you're trying to get at. And then I'll answer if I know where you're trying to go.
The next room that we went into.
Me?
Us.
Once Taika's already out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just
The
in your
maternity
room.
ward?
Just your room.
Okay.
It'd be a personal room.
So they took us to another room, and in this room, like we're pretty much been up for over 24 hours, so you're kind of tired. And then so now you're like, okay, cool. We put the baby to sleep, and then finally you're like, all right, cool. I've been up for like 30 hours now. We could finally go to sleep. But the thing is, because there's all these specialists that keep coming in, and the nurse that comes in to check up on the baby, the
To
doctor,
take temperatures
the doctor
and just
comes
vitals and
in,
stuff.
the vital, yes, because then you want the baby to survive. All these people keep coming in, so you're sleeping, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah. You want to baby? You want to check me? Okay, check one of us. Yeah. And then you try to go back to sleep. Oh yeah. And then the door, since it's so metal heavy ass doors, every time they come in, they fucking slam the door, and I'm like, don't wake up the baby. Don't wake up the baby. But you're pretty much for 2 to 3 days straight, you don't get more than an hour of sleep. I think it's constant interruptions and wake up. So I remember, like, even if you go back on our Instagram, you look at the picture of like me holding Taika with my dad.
We're like, ugh.
We're like, oh, I wish I had some of that Barbell Brigade pre-workout.
Yeah. So then now we're home, and the sleep conversation continues because the kid wants to eat. I mean, every baby's going to be different. I mean, not
because some people they sleep like 12, 14 hours every night starting from the beginning.
Some kids will sleep through the night, but Taika was like really hungry.
He was a hungry boy.
He was. Even when I was pregnant with him, I was constantly hungry. He was a really hungry boy. So he had to eat or like have his milk every 3 hours. And that's rough, especially on the mom, because if you're breastfeeding,
it gets raw, huh?
Well, your nipple definitely gets raw because it's not used to someone sucking on it 3 times, like sucking on it every 3 hours. So there's like a bunch of creams and stuff that you put on it to kind of protect it.
Yeah.
But my shit got so raw. I was like, I was like bleeding. It was bad. Yeah. And then I was pumping too. So then it's just, your nipples just get fucking ravaged. But yeah, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Shit. Oh yeah. It was especially rough on the moms because you're the milk supply. So every 3 hours, you can't just give them a bottle and then they hold it themselves and drink it. You know, it's like you're breastfeeding. So then you have to stay awake until the kid's full.
That's the part that I felt sucked. So like, when Ma Bear would wake up and breastfeed the kid, I would get up too for support. But I'm literally like up with like one eye open because we have to feed him like a couple times a night. And I felt like as a dad, it's fucked up if I just get to snore and just knock out all the way through because I can't feed the baby. So at least I'll try to give you more support.
Yeah.
But I remember the first couple months were rough.
Yeah. And that actually helped me a lot, knowing that I had you next to me and like awake. Because not every woman is this way, but for me in particular, like,
Do you want me to go through the same amount of pain you are?
Because it's like an us thing, you know, even though you can't do anything about it. I think the fact that you were awake and ready to have my back in any sort of way, like if I needed a towel or if I needed, I don't know, anything.
Change a diaper.
I mean,
or
you
something.
obviously can't breastfeed, but it felt good knowing that if I needed something, I could call on you. And because I would feel guilty having to wake you up, you know, but
What if I can't support you from snoring?
From snoring?
Yeah, if I was just like, shh, and then you know that for sure I got your back, but I'm just snoring.
I don't know.
I have to be awake to support you. I can't support you from my sleep.
Yeah. If you stand up, then I'm like, oh man, that's tight. And it
Damn it.
And I didn't make you stay awake with me the whole time. I was just like, no, go to sleep too. But like, it just felt good knowing that I had a team, because it took a team to make this baby.
Yeah.
So it should take a team to be up with this fucking baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of like women, I think like it's okay to ask your men for support. I know there's some like, in the past, I probably would have let you sleep, but I would be just so fucking angry or something. I'd be like,
what do you think
damn
about
it,
the
why doesn't he
traditional
have my back?
thinkers? The traditional thinkers where they're like, well, moms have, especially in America, moms have maternity leave. Dad's got to go back to work immediately, but I need my sleep to work the next day.
I don't know. I mean, that's your decision to make. I'm just saying for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every woman's different. I can't speak for other women, but if you're like me, then if you need that support,
It helps out.
it does. Because I'm just going to tell you to go to sleep anyway. But I think just if you wake up with me and we both feel that, then I'm just like, oh, fuck, that's fucking tight. Because Papa knows he can't do anything, but he's still here. And I'm more like, oh, man, that's dope. Go back to sleep,
the
babe. And
emotional
you're just
support.
like, okay, thank you. Yes, it's very emotional support. And we're so full of emotions that first month that
the more some emotional support, the better, huh?
yeah, because we're just a mess.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We just like, yeah, our hormones are just like bouncing off the wall. Like they're all off balance and shit. Like we're fucked up. Like our body gets jacked up. So yeah, we're highly emotionally all over the place. So the more you can help us stay leveled, the better. So yeah, the first 3 months were kind of rough because I mean he's not sleeping consistently through the night.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready to do sleep training, and that's when they learn to self-soothe, meaning if they're waking up in the middle of the night to eat, there's a certain point where they've hit a healthy weight where your pediatrician's going to be like, hey, you know what? If they're hungry in the middle of the night, it's okay. They're not in an unhealthy weight. Now it's time to start training them that they're not eating every 3 hours. This is the point where they're going to fast.
Yeah.
So they fast from, whatever 8 hours they're sleeping, or 10. I don't know how many each kid's going to sleep. And that didn't happen for us until he was 9 months.
I know. The first 9 months, like all the guys that lift and stuff, they always ask me about having a baby. I'm like, the first 9 months, if you can just maintain your strength, that is amazing. Like, don't try to get stronger. Don't try to get leaner. Don't try to have any goals because you're gonna disappoint yourself. It's so, especially if you're the type of dude that is trying to support the woman. If you're just gonna knock out every single night and it's almost as if you don't have a kid and you leave for work and you come back, you could do anything you want.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to be there and then the sleep is also affecting you, it was rough. But ironically, what's crazy is so all my friends that now have kids are like, "Fuck, you're right. I'm just trying to hold on to my strength." But ironically, what I thought was really cool. Even though I would be extremely tired, the days that I'm exhausted and that would make me want to skip a workout, when I still at least got a small 30, 45-minute workout and broke a sweat, it helped me readjust and helped me feel better. It's almost like the same feeling like when I travel and I get jet lagged and I want to just go in the hot tub and just like sweat everything out.
Yeah.
It does. It helps out and it gives me more of a drive to be a better dad and just stay more and be more alert. Because I'll come home, my initial urge is to still take a nap. But now I'm like, cool, like, what can I do? I'm just in this active, like constantly active mindset.
That's tight.
So it helped
You're
me
like
out
overcompensating.
Yeah, but I guess it helps me, like having to do that,
Yeah. Because you have to you're like, man, I have a small battery right now.
Yeah.
I need to make it count.
And something about working out charges your battery somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our story, but like I know of people that have like they'll I was gonna say rent, but they'll hire like a live-in nanny.
That's so sick.
And it is sick. I know there's people out there that are like, that's not right. That's not being a good mom or whatever. But for
How's
me,
that not being a good mom?
I don't know. People like to judge, but for me, I'm like, hey, if you're cool with that and you're comfortable with that, and like. Do you like, I think that's awesome. If you have the monetary means to afford that, that's awesome because really you're so sleep deprived and you can't really give your kid 100% because you're just so exhausted.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have the privilege, to have a live-in nanny and stuff, I say do that because it really does take a village.
Because to me, I'm like a lot of traditional Asian families, the minute you have a kid, the mom is over, right?
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, what's the difference between
a mom and
a nanny? Especially like most of the nannies that I know, they're like your mom's age.
Yeah.
And what's even better, I think, is that these nannies, they have a lot of experience. They've already raised, I don't know, like 50 newborns.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
they probably have more experience than your mom.
Yeah, way more experience. They hear a cry. And they automatically know, oh, that's a food cry. Because there is the difference like between food cry or tired cry or whatever cry. And like one of our friends who had a live-in nanny for like the first 3 months, it was dope because that nanny also made food for the family. And then so
it helps so much.
And at any time, well, we didn't get one, but like anytime like someone needs to take a nap.
And your mom.
Yeah, grandma
and
was
your dad.
on. Yeah, they were awesome because like sometimes you're just so exhausted. You're like, hey, Mom, can you just watch them just for an hour? And both of us would just go upstairs and just knock out and be recharged to come back down.
It was nice.
Having a little bit of help goes so far.
Absolutely. And right now, I'm going to introduce our next sponsor. Okay, so our next sponsor is Best Fiends. That's friends without the R. And it's this game that you download, and I absolutely love it because it's a really cute animated game about bugs trying to collect different like bug characters or just
That's
different.
funny.
What? Oh, it's funny that they're collecting bug characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really cute, and it's like a really simple game to play. There's multiple levels. And I'm just addicted to it. Like when I can't sleep at night or have some free time and I just kind of want to unwind or de-stress, I play Best Fiends. I'm on like level 36 or something right now. And the scenery constantly changes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, every month they create new levels, so you don't ever get tired of it. It's good for all ages. It's specifically made for adults, but anyone can play it. Like it's really, really simple.
Can Taika play it?
Can he play it? I don't know. It might be a little too advanced for him.
Oh, okay.
But he would love the graphics.
I see.
It's like really, really cool. And yeah, like, oh, another thing I love about it is it doesn't require internet. So if you're,
What?
yeah, so if you're on the plane, it's awesome for travel because, you know, sometimes these plane rides are really, really long.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And you've already seen all the movies that they're offering.
Or the
you don't,
entertainment system doesn't work for that flight for some reason.
or you just don't want to watch movies. It's a really cool thing to play on a game. I mean,
Yeah.
to play on a plane.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. I've been playing this game for about 4 years now, and it's one of those where it's like you keep the app because you know it's good, and then you just come back to it, and it's like, hey, welcome back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you guys, it's a free download, so make sure to download it on Apple App Store or at Google Play. And again, that's Best Fiends, like friends, like best friends, but take the R out. All right. So, yeah, what were we talking about?
Parenthood.
Thank you. No, I know. I mean, where did we leave off?
I
The
think,
live-in nanny.
Yeah, having the live-in nanny and how helpful that could be.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're someone that doesn't have a big family or anything, or if you're just
Would
a
you
friend,
want to entertain that for a second one if we have a second one? Not that
No.
every time we post anything, that immediately goes to. Do you guys have a second one?
No, I'm not pregnant, but
Would you be opposed to that?
I would. Not opposed.
You
'cause
would be opposed.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel the need for it because I have my mom.
But she's not there at the 3 a.m. and the 4 a.m. and the 2 a.m.
Yeah, but I'm home. Like that's my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even if it was still my job, like, and I didn't have my mom, I probably would bring in a second set of hands, you know.
Yeah.
But I personally don't need one.
Yeah.
And that's due to
Because sometimes it seems like your mom needs hands.
Yeah, now she
Like
does.
if there's a living room's here and Taika's here, your mom goes here, he goes here, he goes here, he goes here. So
He's
sometimes I feel like you need
fast.
2 grandmas to freaking
Even for me,
corner
man.
his ass.
Even for me, I'm jumping over the couch to catch his ass. Sometimes I feel bad, but sometimes I have to pull him by the hair because that's the only thing I can reach because he's running so fast.
He's freaking cute when he's
That's
running
the only thing I can grasp as he's moving.
Because he used to run like this with his arms behind him.
Yeah.
But now he runs like this.
Yeah, and if you're a family member or a friend of someone that just had a kid, like please show them support by offering to like
babysit.
yeah, like hey, go take a nap for an hour. Here, I'll watch the baby. Like newborn babies don't do anything. They're just hungry and then they cry because they have a wet fucking diaper. Like that's mainly like, yeah, they might be gassy. You need to burp them, but it's really simple to watch a newborn. Really. So if you can gift them like time to sleep, or you can visit them and bring them dinner, breakfast, lunch. If you can bring them food that's already made, that helps so much. Or if you can go clean their house, like any little thing you can do to help people that just had a baby
Yeah.
would help so damn much.
Yeah, even like take their car to get the gas tank just filled up.
Anything, any little thing.
Because a baby like takes up so much of your time that you don't realize. Like when you think about having a baby, like for me, I think because I'm not so much in the day-to-day like baby raising process.
Yeah.
The part that I realize takes up a lot of my time is my own selfish wants and desires. So like when they tell you, you know, when you have a baby, you're not living for yourself anymore. You're living for the baby, and and all your self-interest goes out the window. It's super true. And especially for someone with a lot of interests and someone that is a creative, like you constantly want to do things to express and do whatever. But now I got to balance those things. You know, it's like Like I still have urge to make music. I'm like, do I want to go to the studio and make music, or do I want to be here for my son?
Yeah.
And then so there are things that have like all the wants and needs that I want had to slow down a lot more.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, when I see them that are young and they want to have a kid, I'm always telling them like, well, make sure the things that you want to do, you're able to get out of the way first.
Yeah.
Because whatever else things you're doing, it's going to slow down by at least 50%.
Yep.
So if you were going to try to do this and that takes 2 years, now that you have a kid, I'm pretty sure it's going to take like 4 years to do.
Yeah.
So make sure you get all of your selfish wants, all those things out of the way, and then have a kid. And I think it's a great idea to have kids later on. Like
I had Tycho when I was 32.
Yeah, I think that's super good because then you get to like live your life, you know? Like
Yeah.
like even for me, I don't even know if I live my life fully yet, because I just right when I got a little bit more financial stability and I got a little bit more money, even though I traveled, but there's still a whole part of the world I didn't travel to.
Yeah.
And like when I watch like Joe go to Vietnam and like all these other trips that he's gonna have, I'm like, oh shoot, like maybe I could have done those things before I had a kid. But I don't feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just such an introvert, you know. But then I'm like, if I was an extrovert, I would totally feel like I missed out. I'm like, oh man, I could have traveled to all these countries.
I mean, your life doesn't end.
It doesn't, but
Like
but it takes a big pause.
Yeah.
Like Joe can travel a country a month. I don't know if we could do that with Taika.
I mean, we could.
But it would be rough.
It would be different.
And none of those countries would be the same.
It would be different.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, we can still do it. It's just a different experience.
It's a way different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not an end all be all, but and yes, I agree. What else is something that is really cool?
Well, it seemed like you're trying to go in the order of from like day one all the way to 2 years old.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was doing that.
So I think now we're at like 9 months.
Yeah, but I just think it's I think it's just really important for couples that just have a kid to have their tribe. You know what I mean? Like have their people that they trust around them, because it's not easy doing this by yourself. And yes, it is your baby and it was a decision that you made. But you should be around people that support your decision and want to help with your decision of having this child. Because it's a beautiful thing. And again, like I did say this earlier, like it really does take a village, you know?
So now going back to my first question, is there something that you're like, oh, wow, before you had the baby, you thought this way about parenthood, and then after you had the baby, you're like, oh, that's how it really is?
Well, for me, I was always scared about being a parent just because it seems like it's just the theory behind a kid, right? Like you make this baby and they come with like little to no instructions. You have to teach them literally everything. That sounded so daunting and terrifying to me, that I'm in charge of programming this human.
Yeah.
And that was really scary for me because I'm like, fuck, I barely understand my own programming.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to decipher that. And now I got to do that to another human. What if I fuck him up? So I think I made it something pretty scary.
Yeah.
So when it was happening, I'm like, oh, it's not that scary. It's actually pretty cool. And it's a slow process.
You're actually a really good mom. I think that's one of the things I'm the most grateful for, where you are such a good mom. You're so good at teaching him. And I know you don't think you're that patient, but you're very patient with him. and like you're so nurturing and you're so attentive that I'm like, Barbara's a really good mom. And I feel very confident and safe that my son has you as his mama.
Oh, thank you, Papa. I feel the same way about you.
Really? I don't think I know what the hell I'm doing as a dad.
But you're chill and you have fun. And I think, and because you have an inner child, like a very, a childlike spirit and demeanor to you that like, it's cute. And like, he feels really safe with you and you're stern when you need to be stern. So, I mean, you're a great dad. That's why whenever I'm going on a trip for 5 days, and he's going to stay with you. And I have zero qualms about that or reservations. Like, okay, here's a list of things, because you've been so involved in the entire process of his life that I don't need to tell you when he needs to eat. I don't need to tell you how to put on a diaper. I don't have to tell you when he needs a bath or shower. Like, you're part of his life fully, that I can go, okay, I'm leaving. And you're just like, got it.
The days that you're gone and it's just me and him, they're actually really cool.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna try to take that as positively.
No, it's very positive.
Okay, can you please explain?
It's very positive. So like I guess going back like 3 videos earlier, where we talked about like you being introverted and stuff. I think because you're introverted and to do any activity, there's that initial hump. So when you're
where I'm scared and I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, but with him, like that's like when you're gone, there's always all these cuny pictures of me and him because we're going on hikes, we're going random places.
So
and
I'm
stuff.
holding you guys back.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But like so, I get to go and do these things.
So you get to bond with him.
I get to bond with him I get to bond with him very intensely, and it's pretty cool, you know. Like we went on a hike a few months back, and then I just know he likes to hold things and stuff. So I grabbed a piece of like the wheatgrass thing and I gave it to him, and he's just holding on to it and he's just going like this, just waving around. And I could just feel it tickling the back of my ear. And we just go on hikes, and then later, like when we reach the top of the mountain, I take him out of the pack, and I just see him like wandering around and then looking at stuff and then like playing with twigs in the sand. And it's just such a cool like bonding experience with him. And it's I always tell people like I don't think I have a son. I think I made my own best friend.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Yeah, I feel like he's my little best friend too. So yeah, you're an absolutely amazing father, and I'm so happy that I've chosen you to make another human with.
Thank you.
Let me see what else. So when they start walking, that's a whole different game now because you have to hide everything that's like within their reach. Because they're touching everything. They're going to try to turn on the stove. They're opening cupboards. You have to like baby proof every single sharp corner that you see, like tables,
Every
TV stands.
phase of walking too. Like the first phase of walking, like the wobbly drunk man.
Yeah.
Like there's all the sharp objects that you're scared of then because they could fall backwards or sideways or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the speed demon phase where you're still scared of the sharp objects because now they're flying. Just like Taika is, I mean, you guys watch the vlogs. He's freaking zooming every single direction. But what's kind of cool is I think he knows how to stop himself now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just like every phase of walking is also scary.
Yeah. Right now he's at the phase where he can walk, run, jump off of curbs. He can climb. He's really good, but he doesn't understand. He can die.
Yeah. All right.
He doesn't understand death. And like grave danger.
He understands that though.
No, he doesn't.
At least heights.
Heights, yes.
Because he'll climb something and then he'll go. Stuck,
he gets scared.
Stuck.
Yeah. Help me.
Yeah.
But like if he's playing in the street, he sees a car coming. He doesn't know what the fuck what's happening. He's just going, and the car can hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of that you have to look for. Sometimes he'll open the front door and just run out into the middle of the street, and we're like, holy shit, and we're just like trying to run after him.
Yeah.
Also, your attitude. Like one thing too that I have to really be mindful of is just my attitude when things happen. So like if I get upset at him, I catch myself going like, wait, I can't just yell at him and be like, why did you do that? Like I have to be like, wait, like he's learning from me. He's watching me problem solve and resolve and like fix things.
Yeah.
So I have to pay attention as to how I'm like handling situations. Yeah. So like if he does something bad, I notice when I'm not on my A game and I'm just like, why did you do that? Taika, come on. You know what I mean? He just feels bad, and then he like doesn't really understand what just happened, and then he'll like just kind of like shimmy away and just kind of laugh.
Yeah.
But then when there's other times where I'm like a little bit more on my A game, I'll stop and I'm like, wait, Taika, that's not good. Go pick it up or go clean it up or like don't do that. Like I try to like explain it more, and he'll like sense it, and he'll be like, oh, and now he says sorry. So now he'll be like, sorry. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Thank you. Don't do it again. You know? And it's, so that like checking your behavior, because they're a sponge. Like it's crazy how much of a sponge they are. So I try to stay positive, but I mean, I'm not perfect. I fuck up a lot, you know, like, he picks up a lot of my mannerisms, my mom's mannerisms. Like he'll yell, you know, because I'm like, I grew up in a house of yellers, like, hey, what are you doing? Or dinner's ready. You know what I mean? Like we're not very proper and classy.
Yeah.
I don't know if your mom yelled a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There's also a lot of mannerisms. I think, I don't know if he just comes from him.
They do.
Because like sometimes when he gets upset and he goes, I'm like, I don't know if any of us are arm crossers.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, that's pretty puny.
And also paying attention to what he's watching.
Oh, right. He's probably learning some stuff from that.
A lot of stuff he's learning. So I only have him watch
YouTube Kids.
Yeah, so he does learn a lot from that. But there's things that they do that he like. Maybe the arm crossing came from one of those videos where they go, and he's growling right now. Where he goes, "Rrrr," when he gets mad.
Yeah,
I'm like, where the hell did you get that?
Yeah.
All right, so now our final sponsor, Policygenius. I am so happy that Policygenius exists and I am alive in this day and age because they help you find the right life insurance at the right price. We know that this is the most stressful thing, but one of the most important things that you have to do for yourself and for your family. And it's so daunting. It's already such a hard task to even have to consider what would happen to me if, God forbid, I get in a really bad accident and now I have to live off of an insurance. I mean, it's a reality that we all have to face, and Policygenius makes it really easy for us to face that. Like I said, they find you the right life insurance at the best price. So they do all the work to help you get covered. It makes finding the right policy insurance or the right life insurance a breeze, and in just minutes you can compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price, and you could even save up to $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. So once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and the red tape. Like, come on. Don't stress over something that's already so stressful. Let the pros handle all of that for you. Again, take advantage that we live in this day and age. So, if you need life insurance but aren't sure where to start, check out policygenius.com. It only takes a few minutes to find the right life insurance, and you get to compare, and it's one less stressful thing that you have to worry about. And instead of stressing about life, you can start enjoying life. So that's Policygenius. When it comes to life insurance, it's nice to get it right. Again, that's policygenius.com. There's that. And then another thing that you that really helps me in my parenting is I don't assume I assume he understands more than he does. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you think that whatever situation you're about to explain to him, he's not hearing it or understanding for the first time?
Yeah. So I feel like intuitively as human beings, we understand, I don't know, like we're still animals, you know? So there's programming already that we have that we come into this world with, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think kids come like a blank slate completely, because like they know when they're hungry, they know when they're in pain. Like there's so many things already programmed into these kids that I think that all kids understand more than we give them credit for. So I try to remind myself of that. And then I try to talk to Taika in a way where I'm like, he may or may not understand this, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Yeah. You know, so even though I know he can't tell me why he did something, I'm going to be like, Taika, why did you do that? And then he's probably like, sorry, or he doesn't get it. But at least he's understanding conversational cues at least. Yeah. And then when he starts developing his tongue and learning more languages, I feel like he'll know that at this point it's like, okay, mommy's disappointed because look at her body language. And she's asking a question because like, are you hungry? Do you want to go outside? Like you already start picking up on like the cadence, the speech pattern, and like, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So I'm already kind of like, I try to like prep him for stuff like that. Like, why did you do that? And then you can see he's kind of like, okay, wait, something needs to happen here. I don't know just yet, but like I try to like prepare him for stuff like that.
Sometimes there's things that piss me off, but then it's so cute that I just let it go. Like I hate it when he does this. I hate it when I'm like, don't throw it. Don't you dare throw it. And he takes it, he looks at me and he goes, he throws it and then he runs away. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, to me, it's like, to me, there's a couple options. One, it's a straight up fuck you. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm going to do things my way. There's another one where he doesn't understand the severity of the situation. And he might think I'm playing. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, I'm just playing with dad. So he doesn't even know, So like, I always try to give him the benefit of the doubt, like that it's not, he's just straight up, fuck you. It's just like, he thinks whatever I said to him is a joke and he just wants to play.
I think it's 100% that one. But I like to when
it pisses you off though, because like, you're like, don't, like, cause you're already in the middle of doing something, like washing dishes or trying to bake something in the oven. And then you're like,
that sounds like me.
And you're like, don't do that. And then don't throw it. And then he goes, man, and then he runs away. And then his act of him running away,
it's funny.
It's like, you motherfucker knew I was gonna come after you. That's why you run away, you son of a bitch.
And you ran away, not towards.
Yeah, you already knew this was wrong. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, or when I like, you could tell I'm angry because I make an angry face. Like we all naturally do. Like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Or no. And then he goes, bye. And I'm like, where does this come from? And what do you think is really happening right now? Like, what is your intent behind the bye? Like, what is that? Like, bye, I don't want to hear you, or we're playing and hello.
Yeah.
I love that. What else? I think a part of right now where I'm kind of like, fuck, what am I doing type of thing is I'm just so scared to give him any sort of, my biggest fear is not allowing him to be who he was meant to be. Like, I don't want, like, let's say he's a outgoing kid. I don't want to yell at him and remove that confidence that he has. You know what I mean? Or I don't like, but then I also want to,
because he's a confident kid.
But I also want to discipline him, but I don't want to like put him under my thumb either.
That's
like,
the thing that's the thing I'm the most scared of. So like, because I know how bold and how confident he is, I feel like that's him. But what I'm scared of is I hope that I don't raise him to be an entitled, spoiled person. Because like, I think when you're loud and confident, and it's easy to go in that realm, because if no one is putting you in your place or putting boundaries around what you can or cannot do, it's easy to become spoiled, and you end up becoming that loudmouth kid that you're like, oh, he never got his ass kicked before.
Yeah.
So like, that's what I'm the most scared of. But then I'm also like, when is it okay to like check him on certain things, and how hard should I check him on certain things? Like, it's like, I never know like the exact right thing to do. You know, like sometimes he'll like smack me and I'm like, no, that's not okay. Don't hit daddy, don't hit mommy, don't hit whatever. But then sometimes he also smacks it like, and it's kind of cute. So I'm like, maybe I'll let him get away with it. So the next time he smacked me and I'm like, don't do that. But I'm like, wait, but did I tell him it was okay the last time because he was cute? So I let him do it. So I don't even know if I'm giving him the right consistent cues for him to learn what things are right or wrong.
Oh, I see. I view that as like, how do I want him to be when he's 5? How do I want him to be when he's 10?
Yeah.
So I'm like, the smacking, for example, is an easy one for me. It's going to consistently be no. Even for play, it's not appropriate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think it's right to hit anyone in the face ever, or the head.
Not
like,
the face, but like, let's say the arm or the basketball.
I don't think it's ever right to hit anyone.
Or about hit a basketball or hit the table or hit anything.
Well, what's the intent behind the hit? Is it hit because he's having a tantrum? Then that's not okay either.
So that's probably something that you're more intelligent than me. Because sometimes you can tell what the intent is.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the physical act, and I don't really know what the intent is.
I'm always trying to read intent.
I see.
You know,
that's
and if
pretty good.
And like if he hits a basketball because he's having a tantrum, then I go, hey, don't do that.
But if he's hitting it because he's having fun,
because he's playing, well, then I'm like, okay, cool, I get it.
Oh,
you know, so I'm always trying to look for intent.
Yeah, that's good.
But for me, where it's hard, and I'm always like, fuck, I want to do the right thing, or did I do the right thing? Did I just fuck up right now? Did I just mess him up for life? Is when I'm disciplining or trying to create those boundaries.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever doing it the right way. That's what's scary for me. That's so loud.
Oh, well, it's very refreshing coffee.
Yeah. But
thanks, Mom.
yeah, I mean, it's just ice at this point. You're not getting any coffee. So that's the hard part for me right now. And then another part for me where I'm like, damn, is like putting him in like a little preschool, like a preschool, you know, because like he's not potty trained yet. Like they have to change his diet. And I'm like, I don't want to put you anywhere where you can't tell me if someone's doing anything to you. You just hear so many stories, and I'm just like, I want him to be able to tell me like, hey, mommy, so-and-so hit me, or so-and-so's yelling, or so-and-so touched me, or whatever.
Before you put him in.
I'm so scared.
What about the some preschools? I think they got like cameras everywhere. Are you cool with that? Where you could like just look in at any time?
Well, I mean, it helps a little bit, but if I'm not watching it 24/7, like I can still easily miss shit because he can't talk.
Oh, I see. But I guess like for the people that are doing that, maybe they're so confident that they're like, hey, we're not going to do anything wrong, so you can look at us anytime.
For sure. I mean, it's a different feeling for sure.
Yeah.
but I'm still like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, parenting is not easy, man. It really isn't. And I really do love following accounts of people who are really honest and open about parenthood.
Yeah.
I really learn a lot from those people.
Any accounts that you want to shout out right now that you're like, oh, you guys are pretty dope?
No, not really. I mean, I don't really memorize the names because I follow so many different accounts for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Like I follow for inspirational, I follow quotes, I follow fitness, I follow beauty, I follow photography, art, like any space. I follow some influencers from each space.
Oh, cool.
For different reasons. Yeah. So I don't really remember names too well. There's some makeup artists that I'm like, oh God, I want to see that. And I'm like, fuck, what's their name?
Oh, right.
But I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that. And I love like just friends that have kids too, because then we'll talk about it. Like, hey, is your kid doing this yet? Or hey, my kid did this. So it's good to have like a support system.
Yeah.
And then it's one thing I was reading when I was pregnant was Birthing from Within is this one book I was reading. And one of the parts that like kind of opened up my mind and kind of like was like, duh, why didn't you think of this, you dummy? Was like talking to your mom about when they were pregnant and what they went through and what their labor stories were like. And it was really cool to talk to my mom about it because I was like, oh shit, like hers was really rough.
It's a good bonding moment too.
It's a great bonding moment. And it's, and you're so distracting. What are you picking?
I don't know. I got this weird scab thing over here.
Leave it alone. That's why you have a scab, because you were probably picking it before the scab formed.
Sorry, Mom.
You're so distracting. I'm focused. Like the fucking pre-workout has me zoned in and focused. And I just see you, I don't know, like a little chimpanzee in that chair, like slurping on this, like constantly twitching. Chill out.
I got ADHD, I told you.
Chill out, man. You fidget so much. But yeah, like talking to your mom about like, even talking to your dad about how that was. I think you learn so much from them, you know, like really turning to your parents or family members that have had kids and asking them those intimate questions that maybe
It's
other
hard
people
talking
might
to my dad though.
Not you specifically, but I guess whoever's listening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your dad probably wouldn't even know what the hell happened because he's old school.
I'm just trying to get him to hear me.
Huh?
It's like, hey, Dad, so how was it like raising me? Huh? How was it like raising me, Dad?
Huh? Oh, remember that one time you asked him something and he answered something completely different?
Yeah.
What did you ask? And then he started talking about like the weather or something. And you're like, you listened to the whole thing and you were like, he didn't know what I said.
Yeah, it was something about like he said like 3 times and I was like, no, it was something, I forgot what it was. And I was like, yeah, so like, what do you think about this? And he goes, yeah, that's why the phone volume's gotta be pretty loud. And I'm like, the phone volume? What are you talking about?
Well, you thought that. You didn't tell him that.
Yeah, I just like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. I'm like,
and then I was like, what did he say? And he's like, he didn't hear me. He started talking about the phone. And I'm like, what?
I think the thing that I really just don't want to do as a parent is I don't ever want to ever be so emotionally distraught where I treat my child as an equal. Because I think that's
emotionally distraught. Oh, okay.
So I think that's where I felt like the worst as a kid, especially with my parents like beating my ass and stuff, is, you know, when I forget a jacket at school or I didn't eat my food or something like that, right? I'm a 7-year-old doing that. So for them to like beat the fuck out of me, it felt like, I'm like, do you think I'm like a 40-year-old like purposely trying to fuck you over? Like it's so.
Well, they were trying to train you like a little dog.
But and it feels so.
And that's still bad for a dog, by the way.
And it feels so severe that like it feels like they emotionally let go and they're not in control of the situation. Just like how, you know, how some teachers, you see them like just lose their cool with the student because the whole time you should be the authority figure. No matter how much the student acts up, you're doing things the right way. And there's always here's a learning chance to learn, right? But then sometimes you see like teachers, like they look like they want to knuckle up or something. Or they get so emotional, get out. And they've turned equals. Maybe not the kid elevated to the teacher, but it's like the teacher is now 15 years old.
Yeah.
So like the type of anger that I felt that I felt from my parents, it almost felt like, wait, aren't you mommy and daddy? How come you feel like you're 7 right now? And I hope I never lose my cool in that way. Cause I think those are the times I feel like the most backstabbed, where, yeah, I left my jacket at school, but you don't have to beat the fuck out of me. Maybe there's other ways you can talk to me or counsel me or punish me. But you doing that and making me feel like I left it at school on purpose to piss you off, like that made me feel so bad.
Yeah.
So I really hope I never do that with Taika, where like he does something and then he feels like I stooped down to his level.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good thing about having two parents in your life is that when you feel like you're getting to that point, then you can like tag team, like, hey, come on in.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm not going to deal with this shit right now. Because I can see why parents, at least back in the day, resorted to like an ass whooping, you know, like the immigrant parent, like our immigrant parents. It's like they're out here trying to survive. And then you have this kid who's just acting the fuck up because they're kids and they don't know any better. And then our parents going blah, blah, real quick to get an immediate like.
But that's not
response.
an ass whooping. That's cool.
I mean,
maybe it's not cool, but I don't know. But it's more.
It's
of
better
like
than what happened to you.
Yeah, it's not like getting jumped for 30 minutes.
I mean, yeah, yours is a case of something that just wasn't handled properly.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. And I don't think you'll ever do that, especially because I'm in the picture. And I just don't see that behavior from you anyway. So I think you'll be okay. Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
I hope so. I just hope I'm never in an emotional place where like I don't know, my emotions get the best of me and then I'm not a parent figure anymore. You know, like I always want to be his best friend, but I also want to be the person that knows more and can help him develop and grow.
Yeah. I think all we can do now is just kind of work on each other or on ourselves, not each other. Work on ourselves and guide each other to being that. Yeah. Well, man, guys, this was a really cool conversation. I never really got to talk about this. Yeah. Let us know if you like this parenting stuff and if you guys want to hear more about it. The pre-workout worked really great. I didn't yawn once. There's no phlegm. There's no phlegm here. I feel very like I feel very warm, like from the inside out. Like I'm kind of sweaty a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I'm ready to move.
Oh damn.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for listening, and also thank you to our sponsors.
Butcher Box.
Yep.
Thank you guys. You get 20% off. $20 off, and you get free ground beef and free bacon on the next order with BEAW.
Nice. And also, Best Fiends, make sure to download them for free. You can go to the Google Play or the Apple Store or the Apple, what is it called?
App Store.
The Apple App Store, yeah. What is it called? Oh my God. Literally, that's what it's called.
The
Apple
App Store.
App Store. I know. Why did I mess up? Damn it. But yes, download it for free. Have a good time. Again, you don't need internet for any of that, so you can constantly play it. It's always leveling up every month. And thank you guys again for your continued support. We love and appreciate you guys. If there's anything that you guys ever want us to talk about, we definitely check the comments section. Unfortunately, we can't reply to people or all people, but we're checking that. We're checking the DMs. Well, at least I check my DMs. So if there's anything you want us to talk about in BeawCast, let me or the comments know, and yeah, we'll get to it.
And if you're interested in this pre-workout, I believe it's available by the time this podcast comes out. So just go to barbellbrigade.com and this pre-workout will be there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.